We're standing here on the Flash in the Can in Amsterdam. For the first time it's in Amsterdam. We're standing here with Dave. Could you tell us more about the Flash in the Can internationally?
Well, internationally, and I'll pull it back a little bit, Flash in the Can was how it originated because it was originally about the Adobe product Flash, and it was originated in Canada. So it was very simply Flash in the Can.
You started in Canada?
Exactly. We started in Canada 6 years ago in Toronto. And since then, it has been running successfully year after year in Toronto until the beginning of 2006 when we decided to attempt to take this festival global. We started in our own sort of backyard, North America. We took it to Hollywood, California.
Twice, I heard? Or?
Twice, yes. And for the most part, it was a very successful event. I would say that some of the differences there as opposed to Toronto, as opposed to now we understand a little bit more about Europe, is that while everybody is using the tools, definitely all the Adobe products, the suites, the interest is definitely there and everybody is using them.
So there are no any difference between Adobe users in States, Canada and Europe?
Well, we just got to Europe, so I haven't met and really talked in depth with, I would say, the Adobe user group in Europe yet. But here for the first time, it's great because now we're getting an introduction into sort of what their perspective is. In terms of North America, obviously it's a very strong community, but I would say it's less about differences and more about a global community. They're all interested in learning about the further progression of the tools and technologies of their trade and of their crafts. So while we help to facilitate these interactions and connections using these tools, we're getting a perspective of how these people are using them and what their core interests and needs are.
Is this where you're aiming at with the Adobe user group and the Flash in the Can?
We're aiming at basically stretching our community of speakers, just focusing, let's say, on Toronto. While a lot of them fly into Toronto to speak to a Toronto crowd, we wanted to provide the same type of insight that these speakers and presenters bring to all the different communities around the world, and that's our greatest aim.
Do you have any plans for perhaps a tour in the rest of Europe?
Absolutely. I think Amsterdam being our first stop and everything accounted for within a day and a half of it, we now realize we're coming back for sure next year. It was sold out 2 weeks before the event. That's a first for FITC. And that's a testament to, you know, the interest and the understanding of the importance of creativity and its intersection with technology here in Europe, and a testament to the sheer support and need and want for it, which is fabulous.
Could you name some European countries you would like to tour?
Well, Amsterdam being first, definitely we're coming back here.
Thank you for coming, yeah.
No, thank you for having us and supporting it. And I think that we're now thinking Germany might be a great a secondary location. And from there, we'll have to see. I mean, we're a small group, and we can only take on so much in 1 year. So, but definitely now seeing this, Europe in general, Amsterdam and Germany to solidify that. We'd love to see if we can go to Germany, maybe.
All right. When we take a look at the Flash in the Can in about 10 years, what's it about? Where you're standing then?
What's it about 10 years from now? Definitely broadening the perspective and spectrum of all the technologies and the creative aspects of how those technologies are used in a very integrated sense. So obviously Adobe and Adobe suite of products and all those products are primary tools and probably and rightfully should probably be there 10 years from now. But I'm sure there's so many supporting products, so many supporting services that integrate within that I think we can see a festival that is really going to explore what technology and art and design has become 10 years from now.
So which media will be in 10 years like integrated media and communication?
To some extent, and we see presentations in our own festival dotted around that. For instance, an organization called Imaginary Forces, who have offices in multiple locations around the world. They do worldwide work, and they are looking at the intersection of, the use of interactive design, but how that relates to physical environments. So if you take it from the screen into the real world, this is the kind of forward progression that I can see these technologies supporting, and I can see these creative geniuses, gravitating towards to really start to play around with that. So.
All right. This interview is going to be webcasted to DutchCowboys.nl. Yep. What are the Adobe Cowboys, in your opinion?
Who are the Adobe Cowboys, in my opinion?
Yes.
That's hard to say. There's a lot of them here. I think you're looking at people like G-Monk. I think you're looking at people like Joshua Hirsch from Big Spaceship. I think you're looking at people, like I said, Tally from Imaginary Forces, all these types of people. And there's so many more to name, but just off the top of my head, there's a few. Yeah, Colin, for sure. Yeah, so.
All right, thank you.